Hi, so I'm going to be doing a video of assembling the pumpkins and the fence. So the 5 little pumpkins sitting on the fence. So I went ahead and already put the glue on here. This is just Loctite gel super glue. And I went ahead and glued all these ahead of time just to save some time. So I'm just gonna go ahead. So I went ahead, painted just those parts in the middle. You don't have to paint the whole thing. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to stick these on here. So there's that one, just make sure that it's lined up. And then do the same thing again with this one, just make sure that they're lined up. I'm just gonna pick this up and just move this closer to me so I can see it. Make sure it's perfectly lined up. I always take my fingers and just squeeze to make sure that it's perfectly lined up all the way around. All right, so there's my fence. So that's the front. And this is the 1/8 version. There is a 1/4 version included. There's also another version that doesn't have the slot at the bottom. So there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip this over and you're gonna see the back. And I'm not so worried about what the back looks like. You can paint the back if you'd like. I'm just choosing not to. So the back, you're gonna have this piece here and you're gonna put it right along this line here and we're gonna glue it. And then you're gonna take this other piece and you're gonna put this right on top and it's gonna create like a little slot. And you're gonna put that right in there. So it's gonna go along this groove, like this little spot here so you don't see this. And this is where the pumpkins are going to slide into. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put some glue on the back. There we go. And a little bit of glue goes a long way. Okay. And I'm gonna just make sure that I get this nice and straight. And it goes right along that bottom edge. Get it perfect on here. And there we go. There it is. Just kind of center it. So there's that. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue and put the glue right on the top. There we go. Just a little bit. Make sure I get that edge. I'm going to stick this on and just line that right up. Make sure that my hands are a little bit full of paint here. And you're gonna have a little slot now where you can put the pieces to the pumpkins. I'm gonna slide right down in there. Okay, so there's our little slot. And it's gonna go right along the back. All right. And there's that. And then you're gonna have our pumpkins. So you won't see that on the front. So you can't even see that. You just see it on the back. So I'm gonna take one of my pumpkins. This is one that I'm going to paint and I'll show you how that goes. I'm gonna take this apart. I'm gonna take this whole thing apart and there's all these little pieces and then how this goes, it slides right in the back in those little slots. And then you'll have the little pumpkins sitting right on the fence. So it just slides right in. And then there's a little song, 5 little pumpkins sitting on a fence and you can do the little song and they just slide right in. There they go. It just goes right in the back. There's our little pumpkins. And you can see it just slides right in and that's all it is. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint this pumpkin for you so you can see how we chalk paint it. There's also an optional piece if you want to add this. There's like this little vine that you can put on there. So there's a little vine and there's little leaves that layer right over the top. There they are, our little leaves. And we'll paint those. There's our little leaves. So you put them on there. And you can paint those in a different shade of green and then dry brush over that just for added dimension. So there's our little fence with our little, there's a little pumpkin vine. So we'll come back to that. So I'm gonna paint this next. Okay, so I'm gonna paint this part the same color as the fence, so it kind of blends in. So when you put it on there, you don't want to see those extra pieces. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my paintbrush that I used, and I used just a tan color paint, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just paint just this section here. You don't have to paint the whole thing. Like, you can leave that because we're gonna be gluing stuff over the top of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this. And this is the same color that I used for the front of the fence, and then I just dry brushed white over it just to give it kind of like a distressed look. So there's all you have to do on that one. And I'm gonna put this aside. And then this piece here, I have, I'm gonna use the coffee bean. I'm just gonna grab that color here, paint the coffee bean on here. And you don't have to paint the whole thing, just this section here. And I went ahead and painted all the other ones ahead of time so I can show you how they all look. So I'm just gonna do the one here for the video. So I just did them all the brown all at once, and then all the orange at once, and it just saves some time. So I'm gonna grab some of this orange paint, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put my orange paint on here for my little pumpkin. And it's a really nice orange. And this is the DIY paint in Summer Crush. There we go. And there's my orange. And then I'm gonna come over here and take off my floral layer. I have my little hat, and I'm gonna paint it black. Grab some Raven. Any black chalk paint will do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some black, give that a nice coat. And I just painted all the hats at once, but I saved this one for the video so you could see how I painted these. And you don't have to paint the florals because you're gonna be gluing the florals over the top. Here we go. I'll let that dry. And then I have the floral layers. I have this here. I'm going to be painting this a nice green. This is Weeping Willow. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a nice, like, it's a pretty sage green. Just gonna go ahead and paint just the little leaves. Grab some more green. There we are. Easy peasy. This is pretty quick. Paint these, especially if you're doing them all at once. And then I have my flower, which I have this pretty like teal color. So I go ahead, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of this teal. There we go. Grab some of the teal. Oh, pretty color. Then I'm gonna wipe off some of that teal paint off my brush. And I'm gonna grab this really pretty, kind of a periwinkle blue. And I'm just gonna put a little bit in the center, just to give it a nice touch. There we go. And that's all you have to do for the flower that goes right on top. All right, so that's all you have to do there. And then I'm going to dry brush the hat. So I have a little bit of white paint on here. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit more, tap off, and I'm just gonna go through here and just kind of dry brush that white on the hat. There we go. And our hat is dry brushed. I'll move that up closer so you can see that. And there's our little hat. And there's this little floral layer. And this goes right on top of this layer here. There we go. You gotta just line everything up good. And then this layer goes right on top. There it goes. And then you're gonna glue that whole layer right on top of here, just like that. And then he'll slide right into the fence. So, and then I went ahead and just did all the others in the same style. So these were really quick to do. So I know it looks like there's a lot, but there's really not too much to paint in these. You see how fast I did those. They're really quick, especially when you do all of them at once. You do all the orange, all the brown, all the black, all the blue and the green. Do them all at once. It's easy peasy. And this one has like a little brim, and that just goes right over the top. So those are all the little pumpkins. So that's all there really is to this file. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish assembling it. I'm going to go ahead and finish painting these leaves, and then I'm going to glue these on, and then I'm going to put it on top of the fence. So I'm going to put that right on top. All right, that's all there is. And then I will go ahead and get this staged and listed. I hope you guys enjoy this. 5 little pumpkins sitting on a fence. All right, thanks so much. Bye.